Hi guys, welcome back to our video, and today we'll be talking about blind OS command injections. So before we go on, have you ever tried looking for OS command injection vulnerabilities on a platform, but you notice that the input field is not returning back your input? So that makes it more difficult to find these vulnerabilities. But in today's class, I'm going to show you guys exactly how to go about it. And the link to the lab will be in the description, so just check it out. So we're going to access the lab. This lab contains a blind OS command injection vulnerability in the feedback function. The application executes a shell command containing the user supplied details. The output from the command is not returned in the response. To solve the lab, exploit the blind OS command injection vulnerability to cause a 10 seconds delay. So what we're about to do right now is to find the vulnerability here on this website. So let's submit feedback. Yeah, and this is a form. Okay, so let's just fill it up like every other user. Name Adam, email adam@gmail.com, subject test email, message, okay, submit. Okay, we'll see that it tells us here, thank you for submitting feedback, right? So let's just intercept this request and see how it functions. Okay, we are going to turn on the intercept. Okay, and okay, we'll fill in our details again. Okay, so we have been able to intercept this request using Bob Suite intercept. We notice here that we have the name, email, subject, and the message we sent, right? We have them here. So but we don't know which field is vulnerable to an OS injection command, right? So right now we can't just run commands like ls because there is no part where there is no place for us to see the output. It doesn't show, so we won't be able to see if the ls worked or not. But there are things we can do. We can write a command that makes the system sleep for 10 seconds. So if it executes, we'll notice that the system has slept for 10 seconds, and that way we'll know that the field is vulnerable, right? So we just go ahead here. First of all, let me show you guys a command, a Linux command. So what happens if I say sleep for 10 seconds? So I'm going to do sleep, okay, sleep 10. So you see, you guys can count. It's going to take it 10 seconds before anything else executes. Okay, you see, it took it 10 seconds, so it's kind of slept it for 10 seconds before it could execute, right? Let's do the same thing with 1 second. You see how fast it will go, right? So now let's look at this. This is the website, and we notice when you submit a feedback, once it completes, it's going to send this image to this input to us, this output to us, sorry. It's going to send this output to us, and that way we'll know it has completed. So if we succeed in making this slip, what happens is that it will take it about 10 seconds for us to see this, and that's how we know there's a vulnerability. So let's go back. First of all, I'm gonna off it, and so the output goes out, right? So we're gonna intercept. Okay, we've already intercepted it. We're gonna fill in submit. So let's go and check it out. Okay, so we can see it here. So see what we're gonna do. We're gonna first of all test the name input, right? We'll first of all test it. So we can do this and sleep 10, right? So we don't know if this name field is vulnerable, but if it sleeps, then we know it's vulnerable, right? So we're gonna close it, and we're going to encode the key characters URL. Okay, so right now we're going to encode this using URL encode. Okay, so right now we are going to encode this using URL encode, right? Okay, URL encode key characters. So we are going to URL encode this. So we're going to encode the key characters, right? So let's just copy that. And forward. So let's check it out. It came immediately, so that means that field is not vulnerable. So we're going to try the second one. We're going to check it again on the email field. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, you can see it's kind of delaying, so I think it's gonna work, but let's see. Oh, So you saw, though it sent a failed message, but it took 10 seconds for this message to come. So what it means now is that the email field is vulnerable to an OS injection, right? Okay, so we just go switch this off, and yeah, congratulations, you've solved this lab. So you've seen how we can make use of delays to find vulnerabilities, OS command vulnerabilities, when the input doesn't, where the system doesn't show us back our input, right? Okay, so thanks for sticking by, guys, and in the next video we'll go deeper.